Okay, welcome to the broadcast, everybody. So this training today is designed for those of you guys who are just embarking on the road of keyword research. And this is easily one of the most important things you do. In fact, when it comes to marketing a website, this is, for the most part, one of the very first assignments you ever get is to do keyword research. Okay? Now, you wouldn't really be doing this unless you've got a website that you're wanting to market. So, if you just launched your site, I think this is perfect for you. This is exactly what you should be hearing. There's a lot of different things you could be doing for marketing, right? And just to kind of make a short list here, when it comes to, I've launched my site and I'm trying to get visitors. Now what? Usually we're marketing with things like Facebook or Twitter. Maybe you're doing some marketing on Instagram. So a lot of the social media, right? Maybe you're doing some marketing via a blog of some kind. Maybe you're doing some link building. Maybe you're part of Reddit or, some other type of forum online, right? Maybe you're doing some paid advertising, right? Like the list could go on and on here. We could take this to 100 if we wanted. But I usually say keyword research first. Do that first. And the analogy that I've used in the past, and I think it's very fitting, is the whole point behind, I guess before I say that, I'll preface it by saying the whole point behind keyword research is to try to get your site to rank towards the top of Google, right? And that's the goal. So if tonight we're using as our example, which we will, we're using Uptown Pearl again, which is a website that sells pearl jewelry. One of our biggest goals as a company here should be if somebody goes to Google and types in something related to pearls here, right? Could be pearl jewelry, right? Maybe somebody does a search for pearl necklace, right? I want my site to come up. Maybe somebody does a search for pearl bracelet, right? Maybe it's more specific than that. Maybe somebody's looking for freshwater, cultured pearl necklace, right? Think of all the different variations of searches that could take place. I want my site to show up high in Google results. Okay, now just as a point of reference, when we talk about Google results here, there's different types of results that you can see on the page. Okay, I know I pointed this out in the past. Let me point it out right now. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. Okay, in any page of Google results, so if somebody typed in freshwater cultured pearl necklace, on any page of Google results, you're going to see, in most cases, ads come up at the very top. Okay, these first 1, 2, 3, and 4 ads are paid ads. These companies are essentially paying to be there. These are some paid ads over here as well. But the latest statistics say something like in the neighborhood of out of every 10 searches, only 3 people are going to click on those ads at the top. The vast majority, 70% or more, are going to come down to these ads, which are our money ads. These are the free ads right here. Okay, these are where we want to rank towards the top. If we're on the first page of Google for different types of keyword phrases, you will get traffic to your site. And I can tell you honestly today, most of my traffic that's ever come to my websites has been through search engines and very specifically through Google searches, because I've managed to get my sites to rank. And they rank, and whenever somebody clicks on that site that's listed up here at the top, it doesn't cost me a thing. I essentially have earned the right to be there in Google. And so then the question comes up, well, how do you get your site to rank high for these different keyword searches? Well, that's a question that would take more answering than time that we have right now on this training. But let me just say this. It starts with good keyword research, which is what we want to embark on right away as you guys start marketing, okay? That is absolutely step one. So what do I mean by good keyword research? So let me delete some of this stuff off the screen really fast. I'm going to just kind of give you a step-by-step overview of what I'm talking about. Let's erase this right here. So good keyword research. What matters when we're talking about that? And to your question, Bob, Nancy, why do the vast majority of people, 70% of people, bypass the paid ads? Because they know they're paid ads. And I think over time, users on the internet have discovered that people are just paying to be there. And the reason why so many people like and use Google is Google generally returns really good search results. So when somebody does a search for freshwater cultured pearl necklace, they trust that Google is going to give them a really good result. Well, the paid ads aren't really Google giving them a result. That's just some company paying to be there. So people actually trust the organic ads below more so than they do the paid ads up top, which explains why more people click on the organic ads. Yeah, good question. And it is encouraging because you can control that. Like you can actually get yourself up high. You don't have to have deep pockets to actually get clicks. And a lot of people would have you believe that, but that's just not true. You just have to know how to get rankings, and that's what we're going to teach you guys how to do. So good keyword research. So what does that involve? So let me just say this. Step one, I'm just going to put this kind of high level in steps. Step one is you need to make a list of all of the pages on your website. Okay, like on a hard copy somewhere. So make a list of all pages of your website. I want to make that clear. What do I mean by all pages of your website? Well, I mean homepage, categories, and products. Okay? So let's look at that on a site like this. Up Down Pearl, you're looking at their homepage. That's one page, right? So, let's pretend I'm making this list for myself right now. So this would be, I'll say homepage. And then they also have categories. They have a bracelets, earrings, necklaces, categories. So I'm gonna add those. So bracelets, earrings, necklaces. Okay, so these are categories, right? I'm just gonna put a C dash next to these to represent categories. And then I'm gonna make a list of every single product on my site. Okay? Well, we won't have time to do that here because I think there's over 100 products on this site. But I would literally take each product, starting with this one called the Lauren, then this one's called the Baby Delilah, and this one's called the Taylor, and I would literally list them on this document. Okay? So product, the Lauren, product, the Baby Delilah, product, what was the last one? The Taylor. Okay. I would have this list. Now, what kind of a format do you have to have this list in? It is totally up to you. If you would rather if you're old school and you want to write this down in a notebook so you can hold it, feel it, touch it, smell it, you're welcome to do that. If you're a little more inclined to maybe use spreadsheets, put it on a spreadsheet. Spreadsheet's what I prefer. If you want to put it on a Word document, that's fine too. The point is, your step one on your keyword research should be that you list every single page of your site. Now, if you're an affiliate website, and some of you guys might have like an affiliate blog, you may want to list, like especially if you're just starting your blog, you may want to list potential articles and pages that you're going to want to write about in the future. This is a little easier for an e-commerce site because prior to launch, you have most of your stuff already added, or at least a good percentage of it. So you want to make your list right away, and it's easy to do. If you've got a blog or an affiliate website and you're doing the same thing, my advice is maybe make some, my future articles are this, and this. And no, they haven't been created, but I'm planning on doing it. You can make a list of your pages that way. Okay? So step one, make a list of your pages. Now, why are we doing this? Why are we making a list of our pages? Well, that'll take us to step two, okay? And by the way, right, this is a very condensed list. I should have probably 100 pages listed, but I only have a few here just to make that clear. Well, step 2 is we now need to brainstorm potential keyword phrases for each page. All right? Because here's the end goal. And I'm just going to share this right now. The end goal is that for each of these pages, I'm going to choose one target keyword phrase. Okay? We're not going to try to get my, for example, my earrings page. We're not going to try to get it to rank for everything in the book. We're just trying to target it for one keyword phrase. Okay? That's the whole point of this. Now, in my brainstorming, if we're going to brainstorm, let's take this one as an example. Okay? Let's just pretend we're brainstorming for the earrings page. Well, what I would start doing in my brainstorming session is number 1, I would probably just do stuff off the top of my head, and I'm going to write that down. Okay? So, for example, I would say, well, pearl earrings might be a good keyword phrase, or freshwater pearl earrings might be another good keyword phrase. What else? Pearl earrings on sale might be a good keyword phrase. Quality pearl earrings, right? The list could go on and on off the top of my head, right? I'm just trying to think of stuff that people would type in if they were looking for this page. Okay, so step 1 is just off the top of the head, okay? Step 2 is, or I shouldn't say step 2, we'll just say strategy 2 for coming up with keywords is maybe we use one of these tools that are out there. Okay, there's a bunch of tools. There's one called keywordtool.io. Okay, that's one you could use. There's one called keywordshitter.com. Pardon the vulgarity, but that's actually what it's called, believe it or not. So keywordtool.io, keywordshitter.com. You could do Google's keyword planner tool. Okay, these are all tools, and I don't have time tonight to show you the intricacies of them. All I can say is you can use these tools to help you come up with ideas for what keywords to use for these different pages. Like, let's say, I know this isn't the case, but let's say I'm looking at my earrings page and I'm like, I have no idea what people are typing in to look for this kind of stuff. I could use those tools to come up with some ideas, in other words, okay? So those are the 2 strategies I would offer to come up with, to brainstorm and come up with phrases for each of these pages. So really, for all these different pages I've listed, for the 100 pages that are on my site, I might, for each one of these, have a big list of keyword phrases, okay? But remember, and I'm going to put this in big, bold letters right here, if I can put it in the notes. Okay, remember, I can't put this in any bigger bold, so I'm just going to highlight it blue, okay? This is the salient point of this whole thing. Remember this. One unique keyword phrase per page as a target, okay? Meaning, if you brainstorm all of these potential keyword phrases here for my earrings page, you need to just choose one phrase. You're not going to try to get it to rank for all of those. You're just going to choose one phrase. And that gets misunderstood by my clients all the time. One phrase, okay? So I've repeated it now, 4 times? So I'm hoping that sinks in. The question is, how do we decide? Okay? Because all of these look pretty good, don't they? All of these phrases here look decent. Like, if I've got a page full of earrings that are pearls, all of these keyword phrases sound pretty good. But in order for us to decide, we want to decide based on two things, okay? One, actually, I'm going to say more like, let me amend that. I'm going to say more like 3 things. One, is the keyword phrase relevant? Okay? And what do I mean by that? Is the keyword phrase relevant? Well, if I've got a pearl bracelets page, okay, I don't want to target that phrase for the words freshwater pearl earrings, right? That doesn't make sense. If somebody types in freshwater pearl earrings, why would I want them to go to my necklaces page or my bracelets page? Okay, so the first criteria is it needs to be relevant. An example of this I've used with some of you before. If I'm selling, let's say I'm selling a Miami Hurricanes hat, right? Like the college, the university, Miami Hurricanes. Let's say I've got a product where I'm selling a Miami Hurricanes hat, okay? I don't want to target that page for something too generic, like NCAA hat. Why not? Because if somebody searches for NCAA hat, they could want anything. Why would I necessarily want to send that search directly to a Miami Hurricanes hat? They probably won't buy it, right? But would I want to send that person that types in NCAA hat to my general hats category page where I carry lots of NCAA hats? Yeah, I would. So I know it seems kind of obvious, but relevance is really key here. And I'll harp on you if I look at your research here and you're choosing keyword phrases that aren't very targeted and relevant to the target page. Okay? So relevance is one. Is the keyword phrase popular? I should put a question here. Relevant. There you go. Is it popular? Is it something that people are actually typing in? It doesn't do you any good to start a new pizza place there in your town, like out in the middle of an empty field without a road to it, right? Nobody's going to do that. You're not going to start a restaurant out in the middle of nowhere. Are you going to start your restaurant on a busy intersection in the middle of the city, right? Because people are around it. And it's the same thing here. You're not going to choose a keyword phrase and try to target it to a page if nobody's typing that phrase in. That doesn't make any sense. If you rank at the top of Google for something that nobody types in, what good does that actually do you? Okay, so it needs to be something that is, or we'd like it to be something that's popular. And then lastly, is the keyword easy to rank for? Okay, I should put that all in caps. Easy to rank for. And what does that mean? It means that it's not something too competitive. Like for me on this site, I don't know. I'd have to research these keywords, but pearl earrings, my guess is going to be very competitive and hard to rank for because it's so obvious, right? But in order for me to actually figure this stuff out, the tool we always tell you to use, and I'm just going to bring it up today really fast. We're already running a little long, so I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on this. This is just going to be high level tonight. I'll give you more detail in other trainings, but we're going to use Moz.com to help us evaluate these keyword phrases. Okay? So let's just summarize real quick where we are right now. Step one to good keyword research is we need to make a list of all of our pages. Okay, we've done that. Or that's a very condensed version, right? Step two, we brainstorm potential keyword phrases for our page. And that you do with two strategies. You either come up with stuff off the top of your head, like I did, or you use these other tools, which I will show you more detail about at a later time, okay? So we've got this list of keyword phrases for all of our pages. Step three is this. Use Moz.com to evaluate which keywords are going to be best, right? So if I'm looking at which of these let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, which of these 4 phrases would be best for my earrings page? Which one should I choose as the main target? I'm going to evaluate it based on this, and the tool that I'm going to use to help me do that is Moz.com. Now, real quick, Moz.com is not free, okay? And I'm not asking you guys to pay for it either. Moz.com, I can't remember if fact, I want to say it's a couple $100 a month, maybe. I'm looking really quick. Can't remember. I think it's a couple $100 a month. Yeah, I don't know. It's close to that. Oh, pricing up here at the very top. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, you could get it at different ranges here, but none of these ranges look very cheap, right? Especially if you're a brand new business. You don't want to be paying $100 a month for this tool, or 150 or 250 or even 600. So I'm going to advise against paying for Moz. What I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to sign up for their free trial right here. Okay? Sign up for a 30-day trial. Use this tool to death for 30 days. Use it for what we're trying to get done with all these keywords, and then cancel your subscription with Moz. Make sure you mark your calendar because they will charge you, okay? Because I think they do put a credit card on file. So they're a very reputable company. You're welcome to use them. You're certainly welcome to pay for a membership. I have no financial incentive to recommend that. So, I mean, you're welcome to do that if you want. But what I'm going to advise you to do is, use their 30-day trial and cancel that trial before you get charged, okay? Because if you'll do that, you'll get access to this tool right here, which I'm going to show you really fast. It's their Explorer tool. So moz.com/explorer. I'm going to just copy this web address right here. You can actually use that for free like twice a day. So I think without the membership, you can go in there and do a couple of keyword searches, but it's not nearly enough for what you'll need. You'll need a free trial for sure. So moz.com/explorer, that will give you access to this tool, in which case I can come in here and type in something like pearl earrings and do a search, and it will actually give me some statistics and some data that will help me decide if this is what I want to target, okay? Now, we said two of the things we evaluate or evaluate our keywords on are these right here. This one is called volume. This one right here is called difficulty. For now, these two metrics right here, opportunity and potential, I just want you to ignore them for the time being, okay? If you're a little more advanced, we'd look at them, but if you're just starting, we're going to ignore them. I only want you to look at number 1 and 2. Volume stands for popularity. So the number you're seeing here basically says this. It says in a calendar month, on average throughout the year, pearl earrings, just like that, is typed into search engines 6,500 times up to 9.3 thousand times. There's a range there because this is kind of an average number, but it gives you an idea. In a calendar month, this is typed in at least 6,000 times and up to 9,000 times. That's substantial. That means that if I could actually pull a first page ranking for this, I could probably retire off of just that ranking because I would get so much traffic to my site and make so many sales. This would be huge for me, right? So that's a good volume. And you know what? You're not always going to get good volumes. This is just an exceptionally good volume on a very popular keyword phrase. If your volume is in the hundreds, it's okay, right? Because you got to remember, how many pages do I have on my site right now? How many different phrases are we trying to rank for? We have about 100, right? Or more. I mean, one home page, 3 categories, and maybe 100 products or more. So there's around 100 pages on this site. If I could get a ranking for every page, but every page's volume was low, like only a couple hundred, I would still get thousands of visitors to my site every month. So you don't have to have these huge volume scores. It's just a big bonus if you do. So volume, I would look at wanting to try to get high volume, so that you want high. Difficulty, you want low. So the difficulty score here is 30. I'm looking for really anything 50 and below, lower if I can get it, maybe 45 and below or lower. Because the lower the difficulty, that simply means that it's going to be easier for me as a web page to actually break onto the first page of Google for pearl earrings. And that's pretty important to know, because I don't want to pick a keyword phrase that's going to be impossible to rank for. I would be wasting my time, correct? So I think a good metric is, maybe around 45 or lower, maybe try for 40 or lower. The lower the better. And I would argue, because I know a lot of you guys will ask me this question, and we'll do some more evaluation on this maybe next week, but a lot of you guys will come to me with 2 or 3 keyword phrases, and you're like, well, this one has really high volume, but it's also got high difficulty. But this one has really low volume, but it's got low difficulty. This one's kind of in the middle. How do I make a choice here? And I'm going to argue, if you're a newer site, like a lot of you are, almost always go with the lower difficulty score. That's going to be a better bet for you. Go lower difficulty. Make that your most important factor when choosing a keyword phrase. Okay, going back to what I was showing you just a minute ago, are 3 ways for deciding a keyword phrase. Is it popular? That's volume in Moz, okay? So higher is better. Is it easy to rank for? That's difficulty in Moz. Lower is better, okay? Is it relevant? Well, you just have to ask yourself that question. In this example, if I've got a page full of pearl earrings, and these are my choices: pearl earrings, freshwater pearl earrings on sale, and quality pearl earrings, I have to ask myself, what's most relevant? If I'm selling a bunch of kind of low-end earrings, I don't think I want to rank for quality earrings on that page, right? That doesn't make sense. Because someone who's looking for quality earrings probably is looking for earrings that they don't mind paying a little bit of money for. And if they get to my page and they're all a bunch of $5, $10 earrings, they're not going to buy from me. So you have to think about your products when you're doing this. Pearl earrings on sale. If these are very expensive earrings that I'm listing, and they're not on sale at all, then don't try to rank for that phrase, right? If they're not freshwater pearl earrings and they're fake, or they're otherwise, don't try to rank for that. Maybe try to rank for the more general pearl earrings. But if they are all high quality pearl earrings, my best bet is this is probably the most relevant one, this quality pearl earring. So you have to ask yourself those questions, and that you can't really get numbers on. You just need to use your brain. Which one is the most relevant, right? That's what you've got to ask yourself. And then you can use Moz to come up with the numbers for 2 or 3. And you'll do this for every single product in every single category and your homepage on your site. And you'll probably spend several weeks on it. This is not a short assignment. It's a very important assignment, but it's not short. So don't try to rush your way through it. Don't sacrifice good keyword research at the altar of your haste, because you'll pay for it later. It is very wise at this point for you to spend the time and really come up with good keywords, because then you may actually get some rankings in Google, right? We talked about earlier, those rankings mean everything, because you're not paying for them, you're ranking for free, and you'll drive a ton of traffic to your site. But it all starts here with good keyword research. And I like to do this first, not because I think it'll send traffic to your site right away. Sometimes it does. But if you do this first, it's like a really good investment. This can pay dividends for your site for years and years and years. But you need to start it now, and that's why we're going to push for you to do it. So I know that was kind of quick. What you'll probably do is and maybe we can do more examples of this, and we most certainly will in other trainings. This is more just kind of a high level. This is why we're doing it. This is how to go about doing it in some very simple steps. The hope is you can put together a document. Maybe you can share it with your coach, and they can review your keyword research and give you tips and advice on it as you're doing it. And then once it's done, you move into phase 2, which is the implementation of using these keywords on your site in the correct locations, and we'll show you how to do that. We just like you to get your research all done at the very start. It just makes things go along a lot quicker, okay? All right, so I think that's good. We went way over time. I thought we'd be able to do this a little quicker, but I realize there's a lot to talk about here. Let me let me turn off the recording, and then if you guys, I'll give you a couple, 2 or 3 minutes for questions if you have any, and then we'll finish up. Okay, so if you guys are watching this recorded, thanks for coming along, and hopefully this helps you with your keyword research. For you guys who are here live, stick around for a sec. We'll answer questions in a minute.